All right, hi everyone. This is Gav. This is Big. We just saw 16 overs, 16 over match, which is 16 super over. In the 16 super over, Kings XI finally won without taking to the last delivery for the first time in the history of their franchise, which we thought was a contract. So now, if anybody, all the people who say all the matches are fixed, I really can't complain right now because it just looks Kings XI has been the god of fixing all the matches. They've been taking everything to the wire. It's like they're this nightmare for everything, but there's just complete dream run for anybody who's trying to fix the match. All those fixers, they were like, Akib Javed and Salim Malik, they're like killing, they're just making a killing out of this thing. We were going to talk about the yesterday's match where AB went completely nuts, but I mean, come on, we got to talk about right now this match to start with. It was something else. I missed the first part of the match, and I think Mumbai put up a decent score. And then it looked like Kings XI going to win, but that's what it looks like all the time. And then this time, somehow they keep strategizing in the dugout. How do we lose this one? Come on, somebody tell me how to lose this one. And then they were like, keep finding ways. And then in the end, they again somehow found a way to lose it. But they went to the super over. Then they made such a bad run. And then Mumbai decided to, like, God knows, like I don't know what they were doing, and eventually another super over. And people are joking that there will be a time after second or third or fourth super over that then nobody will be eligible. So it'll be Kumble bowling Jaya Vardhane, and umpires will be wicket keeping. It just become very complicated. But then we already knew which umpire is favouring which team because there were a lot of wide deliveries which were not even given wide. So yeah, that's my take on this thing. It was just a very weird match, and. This is a back-to-back Kings XI win. I'll say this and then I'll give it to you that Kings XI, can we call them the giant killers because they've killed both the big teams. In fact, our favourite RCB twice and Mumbai. They're telling DC, we're coming, bitches, we're coming. We're coming for you.
Yeah, so with the Universe Boss.
Universe Boss, who has won them 2 matches, who's actually really challenging Tavatia, but on averages because he's only played 2 matches, right? And he's won them both. So this is pretty neat. 100%. All right. Over to you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, all the matches in this weekend have been very close, and this one was. We were waiting. We had set up everything, and we were waiting the match to finish, and then we would have started recording it, and then just went on going. Yeah,
exactly.
In Mumbai, I think
5 a.m. Now. Yeah.
And Mumbai actually recovered well after they lost a lot of wickets, and in fact, I didn't see the first 5 to 6 overs because we were watching the first super over in the first match of the day, and that was a dampener because they only scored 2 runs. But this one was just I mean, and hats off to Bumrah because he actually brought Mumbai back in the game. Or I mean, you can also say that Kings XI just lost their way. But he took the wickets of took the wicket of KL Rahul, and then after that it just went downhill. And a very strange run at the end by Chris Jordan on the last ball of the match. He could have easily made it, but he decided to take a longer route. I don't know what he was trying to do. So
confuse the thrower.
And now the rule has changed, right? That if you distract the fielder, if you try to come between the ball and the wicket keeper, then even if the ball is not going to the wicket keeper, not going to hit the wicket, you will be given out. So I don't know why people are doing that. And I think you were saying about awareness, right? There's a lot of there's very less awareness among a lot of players. We have seen as well that while all this was happening, no one was trying to warm up and all that. So
nobody warms up. They keep sitting on the asses on the stupid chairs and like, oh my god. But do have some awareness. Start warming up in case it can go to super over. Because by the way, today has officially been declared Super Over Divas by IPL. 18th October will be officially the Super Over Divas. It is going to be very odd day because now the IPL is not going to happen 18th August and 18th October. But then suddenly Chinese people are like, what are you talking about? This is going to be all over the place. We're going to have we have 16 viruses already prepared for all round the clock. They'll be like, we'll be destroying everybody. So I think we'll quickly move on from this match. And again, interesting, but it's a big win now. In fact, now because KKR won earlier today, so they have 5 wins. So the top bracket is looking very interesting. But the bottom bracket is like everybody has 3 wins. seconds now. So it's just it's become more interesting than it should have actually right now.
Yeah.
What happened to the earlier match, which I didn't see? Did they play well in the first? Like they took bowling. So what is happening? Because we've been saying before, take batting. Now we were saying batting, and then what has been consistent? Whosoever wins the toss, whatever the fuck they do, they tend to lose. Which is, I think, they lost 80% of the matches if you win the toss. So it's like the biggest thing right now is winning the toss. Whosoever wins the toss, you should start fighting, shouting like, yeah, that's it, we have already won. The opposition said like, already won. This is good. This is so amazing.
Or forfeit the toss. Like, okay, you can choose whatever you want.
Yeah, you get whatever you want. It's like, I'm not choosing. Whoever chooses loses. Choose a losers. So they're like, choosers, losers. So like, we don't want to do it. It's going to be that crazy stuff from there. So I think the earlier match, I don't know how interesting it was, but it went to the wire. Warner had hit 3 fours. He did not come to open, and they had Kane Williamson. Because we were talking about the other day, the Kane Williamson needs to come up the order, and we were saying 3, but obviously they again went all the way. They're like, might as well just open the innings for all that matters.
Yeah. I think it was it did work out for them because they should have won the match. They came very close, and with Warner being at the crease, you would have expected that he would have won. But as you said, on the last delivery, he tried to just take 2 runs and ended up not getting 2 runs, and rather than going for a 4 or going for a big shot, he just tried to nudge the ball and take 2 runs, which is very unlike Warner, right? And that's what we have been saying, or you have been saying primarily, that Warner has been very subdued, and their bowling is looking very thin right now. In fact, the best figure from their side was from Vijay Shankar. So you can imagine that what sort of bowling they're having. This guy Rashid Khan is not making a big impact right now. He is not giving many runs, but he's not even not taking wickets, which is hampering their the bowling effort. And obviously they're missing Bhubaneswar Kumar. So yeah, that was that. And KKR's inning was also not very free flowing. It was very stop start. A lot of players caught to 20s, and but they couldn't go on. And at the end, it took both the former captain and the current captain to take them to a respectable score. So the wicket in Sharjah is slower, so even 160, as you were saying, that 160 is the par score for you, and this eventually turned out to be true because they scored 165, right? And then it was very difficult for SRH to reach that score, and eventually it went to super over, and where they only scored 2 runs. And surprise, Loki Ferguson played his first match and he immediately made an impact. He took 3 wickets for 14 runs in his 4 overs, and then in the super over just gave 2 runs. So I don't know why they were not playing him. I don't see any reason for not playing him unless he was injured or something. But in his first match, he has really showed his class, and he has been a great bowler, right? For New Zealand also, he bowled really well in the World Cups and everything. So
he's a perfect bowler for this kind of thing. I think he's already taken 5 wickets. He's already taken more wickets than Patrick Cummins, who gets paid $8,000 per delivery, which even goes for 6s. I'm not saying Pat Cummins is bad. I'm just saying that the guy's already taken 5 wickets in one match. And I think eventually, I'm just looking at the scorecard. It seemed like they started very well, and then they suddenly lost a lot of wickets. I'm talking about SRH. And the Priyam guy who was promoted did not work out. Happens sometimes. So in the end, I think if it was a real true blue Warner, before the suspension and all that shit that hit the fan, he would have really whacked that delivery, and he would have just talked to the guy in the non-striker. He's like, if I miss it, you just run anyway, regardless. We'll take the run. Let me go for it. Put the pressure. He didn't put the pressure. He just said, I'm going to nudge it for 2. Did not connect. And he could not take 2. Eventually, it went to super over. They tried to go for it, didn't go for it, made 2 runs. That was done and dusted. So let's move on to yesterday's match. And by the way, Shubman Gill continued his shitty stuff which is he's not even striking at 100. I hope somebody eventually notices if there's one reason Kolkata will miss out on anything is it's because it's going to be Shubman Gill's shitty batting at the beginning, who's just accumulating runs for himself at the end of the day, it looks like.
Yeah, and it was just because of Loki Ferguson that they won. Otherwise, see, imagine any other bowler in his place, he would have given even 20-25 runs, and SRH would have won very easily. So yeah, they should be taking more chances. I think Shubman Gill should be taking more chances because he's accumulating runs, but this is not the format to accumulate runs, right? So yeah, that is something.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. He needs to, after he's gotten so much confidence, he needs to play much better. I mean, averaging strike rate 97 before he was 90. I don't know. This is just too bad. It's just horrible, literally. Okay, let's move on to the interesting match yesterday between CSK and DC, which was just. I want to ask you a question. Who do you think is AB is bigger, greater batsman, or Aksar is greater batsman? Yesterday, Aksar was just boom, boom, boom. Destroyed. Aksar destroyed everything. It was just unbelievable batting by Aksar. So when it looked like that CSK is doing very well and they were like, it was going up and down, and eventually Aksar comes and he just destroys. He was not supposed to be on the strike, but then once he took the strike, he's like, don't worry, I'll take care of this. And he did take care of it very well.
So, and I just want to point out that CSK had a very bad day on the field. They dropped 2 catches on both of Dhawans, and one of the catch was dropped by Dhoni behind the stumps. So that was really that really hurt them because eventually Dhawan made more than half of the runs. So
no, I was watching the match. I've made notes. They dropped him 4 times. In fact, I know exact scores.
Okay.
One is 125, one is 120. 25 was Chahar, 27 Watson, 50 Dhoni, 79 Raidu, and after that, because he could not get the strike in the last over, they were already planning to drop him for the 5th time, but those plans could not materialize. And the bookies are like, sorry, the people who are match fixers are like, what are you doing? It was already planned. You're supposed to drop him 5 times. So, and then Dhoni also dropped him. Kota Rahana was playing. Tried to force thing. See, the deal is that the guy's trying. He's just not going to connect. It's not going to happen. It might happen 1 in 5 innings. He's not that kind of player. He's just trying to. And then when shit happens to you, then somebody takes a brilliant catch. I think Surya Kumar took a brilliant catch of his.
Yeah.
It was just his quota system, tough luck, and it's just not the right caliber. And by the way, I want to talk briefly about Prithvi, which I've talked about. I was critical about Prithvi, and then if you remember one time, because he is showing a lot of fearlessness, so I was like, look, I need to say that he's being fearless, which I like that thing. But you remember, I said there is a lot of technical problem. He looks like Tendulkar, plays like Viren Sehwag, but he's just not good enough, like of either of them. Right. And you can see that he just, like right now, it just looked like he got back-to-back ducks, right? It just looks like just going for, like trying to hit everything without even just seeing where the ball might swing. Because both the bowlers who got him out are the swing bowlers. And you need to be a bit more mindful and not probably close the phase of your bat to start with, right? That just makes more sense. So we're just trying to hit it.
Certainly in the early couple of overs, because the ball only swings for a couple of overs. So you should.
I still think he needs to go for it. He just needs to go for it in the right manner. When you're closing your phase of your bat, when you're closing the face of the bat at the very beginning, that's not a very good strategy because the ball is going to swing. You'd rather keep it open and just whack it, open the face and just do some different things. Because if he's not playing fast, I'm not even sure what he's doing after that because he doesn't have the technique to play slow. So, but it was exposed, and I think Prithvi really needs to, like in the next year or so, consistently just work on his technique and make sure he keeps the attacking instinct there, because otherwise I don't know what he will do, because he's too short to be bowling. A lot of time people don't see him on the field because he's too short. He can hide around people because apart from jumping skills, climbing people, particularly the bigger ones, I'm not sure what skills does he have after that. So I think Jadeja, people have been saying Jadeja is a new Dhoni. I don't want to talk about it, but that's something which I saw on the social media, which I don't go to. But I think social media came to me this time. Raidu was back to his best form, I would say, because he was not wasting deliveries, and he really. I think he and Jadeja was one of the people were the reason they actually got to that score. Otherwise, they would have never even got to the 179 score, which I think looked fairly good score. Even on Sharjah, but and once Delhi started really poorly, it would look like they're gonna get it. But then Delhi has the team and they play with a lot of confidence. So unless if all of them go, so it sometimes looks bad because everybody's going for it. You get all out for the 89 and like oh my god, this is bad. But that's the thing you have to do when you go all out. Sometimes that's gonna happen. right? But that's also
Yeah.
going to make sure that you're going to win. Shikhar Dhawan eventually made a century because these guys dropped him 4 times. They were like, and Shikhar Dhawan was supposed to play the last over, but Aksar said, just stay on the non-strikers. I'll take care of this thing. His strike rate was like 420 apparently. He's like 420 beast. So that worked out very well. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say on that match? Because
Yeah, I have one thing because we talk about commentators a lot on this podcast. I don't know whether you know, but the last over was bowled by Ravindra Jadeja, but it could have been given to Dwayne Bravo, right? But
what happened to Dwayne
Dwayne
Bravo?
Bravo
He was
was
not
not
there.
on the field,
Field.
and it is commentator's job to tell this to people. A lot of people were like ranting on the social media, like why didn't Dhoni give it to Dwayne Bravo? But he was not on the field, and the commentators who are commentating, they talk about a lot of useless stuff. This is the stuff they should be telling the audience, right? That Dwayne Bravo is not in the field. That's why the ball was given to Ravindra Jadeja. But it was never mentioned. I think it came out later on. Someone said that he was not on the field and he was not batting, or maybe Dhoni said the thing. But I mean, that's the job of the commentator, to give you the stuff which you cannot see, not state the obvious, right? Which is happening in the match, which the viewers can see themselves on the television. So yeah, that is something which I noticed.
Well, that's a good point because I'm not sure if I was watching it. Sometime I mute them because they irritate me, particularly towards the last over. They keep talking because if you watch
Yeah.
EPL and I watch the podcast for EPL, and there are some of the commentators who come on the podcast, and sometimes this question we ask them that what is one advice as a commentator you'll give to somebody who's starting out or who is new, who wants to get better. And over Don Hutchinson and a lot of people, he said like, I'll give you the advice that I was given when I was starting out, and this Don Hutchinson has been commentating for 2 decades. He says, just sometimes shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just stop talking sometimes. You're just talking too much. Just sometimes don't say anything. Let the moment. If it's for example, I'm just saying if it's a boundary, just shut up. Let people feel that boundary. Okay, stop saying stuff like that. Okay, because you've said that, I want to pick up on that only because I didn't plan this, but somehow it just comes out like this. Now, I want to say this thing that people have been like exaggeration. Somehow because this is the Indian IPL league, so every commentator has to suck on everybody's balls, particularly all the Indian players. They always have to be nice to them. So they've been saying Indian players, so amazing. They're so young, they're so amazing. Yesterday, it was very evident, if you watched the match properly yesterday, it was very evident that Particle looked completely out of his depth. He was one situation when you were like, please get out, buddy. Please get out. You're going to lose the match for this thing.
I was going
not
to come to that.
hit it. Could not hit it. It was embarrassing. Like, he should be happy that he got out. Same happened with Gurkirat. I think I was calling Gurkirat stuck. Gurki stuck. That's what I was calling it. And Paddy stuck. These people just got stuck. They were just not be able to hit the delivery. And this time I want to pick on the fact that, it takes people years, sometimes decades to earn the acronym KP. For example, KP either this one or KP the new KP, AB or thing. But right now we have this, everything becomes so cheapened. It's like everybody's called sir in India, right? Even I get called sir by random people. I'm not fucking sir. I'm nothing like sir. DDP, apparently Padikal is called DD fucking P, okay? Stop
DDP,
calling people these things, okay? Stop calling people names. It takes, let them earn this thing. You hit 1-6, suddenly you're a superstar, suddenly you're the best player, suddenly you should play for India. Is India going to play 57 players? Unmukh Chand was supposed to be the best players. Do you want Padikal to be the next Unmukh Chand? Because it goes to the fucking head for people, man. They hit 2 sixes and suddenly you think he's the best fucking player, he's the best ever shit. It happened with Uthappa. It happened with Unmukh Chand. It happened with millions of people. I can go to the fucking entire list. My point is like, stop fucking putting everybody on top of a mountain just because they hit 2 sixes, just because they bowl 2 Yorkers, just because they take 2 wickets in 1 over. Don't. At this time, also talk about people that he really got stuck. He really could not go. It was just, I think Virat Kohli being very professional and all. Otherwise, I would have been, listen, just fucking pretend you fall down, pretend you have an injury, just get the fuck out of here, man. You're going to lose us the match. And by the way, when AB de Villiers came out, these guys, and then Gurkirat was getting stuck. It was just embarrassing. And then because this guy is super cool, he's like,
gave Unatkar 3 dot balls. I was like, what is he doing? Unatkar is supposed to go for runs, not give dot balls.
Yeah, this is Unatkar's contract. He's supposed to give he's supposed to earn $3,000 for every run he gives. So that's why he wants to earn $18,000 for a six on every delivery as soon as possible. I did notice that Unatkar is one player who was actually contracted at 11 crores at some point, 11.5, but now he's only contracted with 3 crores. So which is he's probably earning only 20 lakhs or something per match or something. It's not very good for him. But he's doing very well. So my point was like this thing people need to understand. And AB de Villiers, dude, at that time, AB or anybody, they fucked up everything. AB needed some luck, and he got that luck when he actually missed his Unatkar. And it fell in the no player zone.
The gap,
and that's the luck he needed, because one miss. Remember the last time also he mishit one thing. Once you miss it one thing, you kind of like it, you understand what is happening. And this guy is something he just once he gets nailed in, he just gets nailed in. After that, he just again went into some other zone altogether, went crazy.
Yeah.
So he was just like, after that, he was like, how many? We need 25 of 6 deliveries. I just need 4 deliveries. Don't worry about it. So he's like, and
I'll
then
just
once
keep
he's
eating.
not, then you just, I think the bowler just starts like, he's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. They start panicking.
Even the great Jofra. Even the great Jofra itself.
Even Jofra. Like, because Gurkirat and everybody is trying to make sure everything that somehow this guy doesn't come on strike and we lose. It's like they were playing with 13 people, the opposition team. So that's what I wanted to talk about, because the other time it was very difficult for me to follow, because Reds were playing Toffees. Anybody who doesn't watch football, Liverpool was playing Everton. Everton's name is Toffees. And then it went 2-2. Then it was like going crazy. Liverpool scored. It was offside. It was just going nuts. Complete red card. It was just mental. So I was just jumping from every time I would jump, there would be a goal. Or if I jump to football, then somebody will do very well here. I was like, I'm missing everything. And all these fucking Hotstar don't let you go back to major moments. They're like, the moment you go, no, we don't just let you see the goal. So all this stuff was happening, and it was just magical innings by AB. But for me, the main thing was that Particle. It was just bad, man. He really fucking got stuck. So yeah,
and this is the and actually I was going to raise this point because it's not just Particle. All these young emerging players which like who have been built up by the commentators, they are actually not doing really well. Everyone, Tripathi, Particle, I think bowlers are doing decently. Karthik Tyagi also bowled very well yesterday, the Rajasthan Royals bowler. So but that's what happens, right? Now we are at the business end of the tournament. Every match is so crucial. Every ball is so crucial. So all these new players will feel the pressure, and then you can't expect them to do wonders. And that's what, as you said, I mean, you already said a lot about it, that you need to keep their feet grounded, because we have seen so many players getting, and I think Shubman Gill is also going that way. I mean, it's so too early to say that, but I just feel that he's someone like who already feels that he's doing really well. And there are other players as well in the I mean, among the younger players, and that is something which is very difficult, because you need to really earn the India jersey, right? And even if you play well, there's just so much competition that you have to be at the top of your game, which sometimes is not possible for all these new players. So yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. So
because
I think
numbers can be deceptive. Numbers can be deceptive, because I'm just looking at the stats right now, and you were saying Shubman Gill scoring at 113. That's not acceptable even one day international right now. So his scoring rate is like 38.87. But then you just become like, you're just scoring for yourself. AB de Villiers scored much less runs than him, much less than like 20 odd runs. But AB de Villiers striking at 190. When you score 285 at 190, and you score 311 at 113, there's a huge difference. Devdutt Patikal, who's like everything, somehow Devdutt Patikal is scoring century after everything. I think after the first 2 matches, he's completely been deadbeat. He scored 296 runs at 122. Okay, that's not good enough forever. So when they're saying they're not playing well, nobody talked about Shane Watson particularly, apart from when they have to. Shane Watson is averaging better, doing better than all these people. Rohit Sharma, they keep talking about, who is not actually performing at all. He's got 260 runs. Like, he's just been terrible. He's got 129. He's been very, I mean, for Rohit Sharma standard. I'm not talking about random people standard. But the fact is that these people, they just put them on this pedestal, and they're just suddenly supposed to be like this great players. They're just not that great. They just started. Let them say like, okay, they have potential. Let them see how long it takes for them to develop, and one day they can actually play for India, because to have a right position, you can't have like 3 players from every IPL team. That's like 24 players already out there. You can't
Yeah,
have that many players.
and IPL is just a very short format, right? And it's just
It's
it's
masala,
just
man.
masala, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, even T20 matches on international level, those are different ball game. So yeah, I mean, yeah,
These guys are
completely
young,
agree
you know.
on.
You need to like let them play. These guys are it's very difficult, because I can understand people get nervous. When I'm saying about Devdutt Patikal and Gurkeer, I'm not saying that they're just shit. I'm just saying it's too much to expect from them, and push comes to shove, and suddenly all
Exactly.
these amazing bowlers are bowling them, and then you can't miss 3 balls, and suddenly your mind is like, what the fuck, and now you're not looking at the delivery, you're just saying, what the fuck, I need to hit, and then you keep missing, and then suddenly it's like 5-6 deliveries crazy, because not everybody's
Yeah.
Tewatia, right? The guy's like he got balls of steel, man.
Is
The guy's got
catching
balls of
ball,
steel.
is taking wickets.
He's like, he doesn't care. I think he doesn't get worried about whatever's happening. He's just like, listen, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it. And then you respect
Because I think
Tewatia more.
somehow I feel that he'll not be able to come to the Indian team. So let me just do whatever I can here.
I think the most disappointing would be Sanju Samson. After like first 2 matches, he just completely disappeared and disoriented. I
And
think
that
last match
happens
he
with
was
Sanju
playing well. Yeah.
Samson. Yeah, I already said that when we first talked about him. I think the first match he scored 90 or something. That this is don't get excited, because this is what happens with Sanju Samson. He just plays couple of really great innings, and then after that he just fizzles out. So yeah, that
Oh
is.
yeah. So I think that's it. I think it's been 25 minutes. So I don't know what else to say. So it's been interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
we have
think
to talk about the next matches, right?
yeah, we have to talk about next matches, and this is kind of a review for all the teams. I think we can just briefly talk about that where all these teams are. I think the top three teams have really consolidated their position. Now I think the fight is for the fourth spot,
No,
and
there's
I
no
think
fight
it's
for the fourth spot.
just
There's a fight for for fifth, sixth, seven, eight. There's another league going to be there who's going to be fighting
yeah,
for this thing, because see, there's a gap of 2 matches between fourth and the rest. So
yeah,
I can't see
yeah,
there's a competition right now, unless something changes this week. But right now it's like
yeah,
there's this 4 teams are playing separately and other 4 teams are playing separately. Because SRH won today, that would have been different. But SRH did not, so
right.
KKR is now through, because there would have been fight between SRH and KKH. But now
Hmm.
SRH, CSK, RR, and Kings XI, they're all at 3 wins. They're just in a pack, just fighting with each other. I think they should just start their own league. So no, I think now it's become very clear that I will be very surprised now if any of these teams actually drop out, because it will be very, very
Yeah,
difficult
yeah,
for
yeah.
anybody. In fact, today's SRH loss actually made it even more difficult for all the people who were chasing, and it just made it
Because yeah,
interesting.
the
Look,
gap
yeah.
has increased.
And
Yeah.
finally, your RR is now officially right on the bottom of the table, which you had predicted earlier. And from the start they had, dude, who would have predicted that one stage within like next 2 weeks they'll be rock bottom. So that shit happens. But don't be surprised if they come up to number 5, 6 to end with, because this is what happens. But they're not going to qualify. I think none of the
Yeah,
four
that can
teams who
happen.
are there at the end are not going to qualify now. So my original team, which was
I think
KKR, it
tomorrow
seems
is the
like they're
match.
going to make it. Yeah, finally.
Yeah, I think tomorrow is the match for the bottom team who
Oh,
will finish
they
it.
should just play with each other only now from now. Just change all the matches just to have more fun. Let's have that bottom 4 league. Who's gonna come first? They forget about the
Yeah,
top. Yeah, it's CSK versus Rajasthan Royals.
yeah,
I'm gonna back Rajasthan Royals because I like Rajasthan Royals. I am not gonna
yeah.
back
Even
CSK
even
for any match unless they play Kings XI.
yeah, even I'll back Rajasthan, and I know I think Stokes is injured because he was like pulling his back a lot during the last matach.
Oh
But I
Jesus
think
Christ, man! With Stokesy, there's just too many problems. He's this very
yeah.
high maintenance girlfriend.
Yeah, but I think after the last night's loss, CSK, who lost to Delhi, I think their whatever confidence they had gained from the last 2 wins, or last win, I think just one they won, right, would have just disappeared. And yeah, I feel that RR, because there is Tiwatia as well, right? Don't forget him. He can just turn the match around himself.
He's the only
And,
person I'm
Steve-
caring for. That's why I'm picking RR, because of Tewatia. I was like, no faith.
Yeah, even
Steven
Steve
Smith, no.
Yeah.
Stokes, no. Tewatia, okay, let's pick RR. So yeah, Tewatia is my deal.
same.
2020 will, for me, I'll always be a Tewatia, no matter what happens from now on. Tewatia is the man. I think it will be Tewatia versus the universe boss who wins more matches for people.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah.
For me, RR is not going to be deadbeat last. Eventually, push comes to shove. Eventually, it's still going to be Kings 11 at the last. Because now they're going to start losing the matches. They're like, okay, we've had enough. DC will thump them in the next match, which is on Tuesday in Dubai. The next match is in Sharjah. No, it's not in Sharjah. There's no matches in Sharjah for now, a little bit, till 23rd. So there's going to be, people are staying away from Sharjah. So yeah, next picks are like Rajasthan Royals and the Delhi
DC,
Capitals.
same, yeah.
So those two, yeah. So that's what it looks like. I don't think the table will change. That's my prediction. Bottom will remain the same, but I think it will settle in a bit, and CSK will come 7, and Kings 11 will eventually come last. SRH will manage with 5th position. They'll have to deal with it because they've just lost too many close matches, and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
that's it for us. Take care. Have a good evening. Have a good week. We'll see you again very soon.
And
Bye-bye.
subscribe if you have made this far.
Yeah, if you're still alive, Corona did not get you, so we can't get you either. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.